Good afternoon, and welcome to week 8 of Child Psychology Online. This is Patrick Smith. This week we are continuing our study of children in the early years, early childhood, which is 2 to 5 years old. Remember, we call that, well, I call it the play years because playing is the context that we'll see the greatest amount of development as they interact with other children, as they interact with adults. They're learning social skills, they're developing their understanding of themselves, they're developing an understanding of their own feelings and other people's feelings and integrating them into decision making. Cognitively, they're developing that ability to see, well, we call it probably pre-conventional reasoning, where children are starting to, or not pre-conventional, I'm sorry, pre-operational thinking, where they're starting to see things in their minds and make plans and understand the passage of time and categorization and all that fun stuff. So as we're seeing that children are developing and developing these abilities and starting to master concepts. Last week we had this question of uncertainty. From time to time, I found these articles that I find very intriguing, especially when they come to child development and the development of a child's psychology. So this is really a question that was really burning on my heart, is this idea of uncertainty. And on the other hand, the idea of right and wrong, or black and white thinking, as many of you pointed out. So what is it really that would be helpful to a child? Would there be an advantage to teaching children right and wrong, like that things are black and white? And that's not only just moral issues there. That's really also any time that there's a decision to be made, would the child be able to look at that decision saying this is the best thing to do, or this is a better thing to do, or a matter like that? And so how is it that we can teach children to do that? I believe it was Miana who really, you made an excellent point about the individuality of children. So obviously one size wouldn't fit all. There would not be really a way that one way that we could teach everybody how to make decisions. Um, Jessica had a very interesting caveat that she mentioned about teaching children about right and wrong, and whether that might lead them to being closed-minded about issues. Because, over the course of their lives, they are going to change. There are going to be situations where they see that what pertained in one situation doesn't pertain in this situation, or maybe there's a time for the very logical reasoning and a time to integrate one's feelings and concerns. People with children know that absolutely. And so Courtney had mentioned, I really like what Courtney had to say about this question about how do we change our minds through the course of life. And if we've really learned everything is black and white, which things really aren't black and white, maybe that would be a problem that would give us some burdens as far as making decisions. Another interesting consequence, Kirsten, I think, if I'm summarizing you correctly, I like what you had to say about that relationship. That you mentioned the relationship with the authority figure, and how children being different, and all, then that kind of thing would be a concern, because where one person would get, okay, you're just really trying to help me in life and help me make better decisions. Another child, that maybe the institution of discipline or something like that would kind of put a wall up there that really shouldn't be there, and no one really meant to be there. So you have to think about that. Anyway, I think that we have this burden as adults dealing with children. We have this burden that it's very essential that we really understand the child, that we listen to them, that we can ask some of these questions we've been asking all this semester to try to grasp, like, how does the child get to this point? Why does the child think this? What was the child thinking? Why did that child choose to make that action to behave that way. And in understanding that, hopefully we'll also understand how that we can contribute positively to a child's development in making better decisions. So I just hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. We have spring break next week. Please make sure to check out the syllabus so you know like what's due and when, because you do literally have that week off. In any case, I hope you have a wonderful time, a great week, and a wonderful week off next week. And remember, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Remember, it's good to be good. It's good to be kind. It's good to be compassionate. And have a great life.